Hi everyone, hi Liz. This is a video response to Happily Ever After. I think the number's after 999. I'll put a link over here somewhere so that you can find her video that this is a response for. She's asking, what's your crochet story? How did you get started in crochet? I got started when I was just a little girl. My mother didn't know how to crochet because she had a withered hand. She had cerebral palsy, so her right hand was withered, but we did all kinds of crafts. We would sew. My favorite things to get for Christmas were coloring books and crayons and craft kits, things like that. So when I was 11 years old, my sister was expecting a baby, and my cousin Kathy was crocheting, and I asked her to show me how. And she started a granny square for me, and she showed me how to make a granny square. Well, for the first few granny squares I made, I'd had to have her start them for me. But after a while, I learned how to start them myself. And for a couple of years, I was crocheting nothing but granny squares. So when I was 11, I went to stay with my Aunt Gertie. And Aunt Gert, she could knit and crochet and sew, and she was very creative too. My mother and her sisters all seemed to be creative. So anyway, I went to stay for the night, and I don't remember why I stayed in the night. I just know that it was right around the time that I had back surgery for scoliosis when I was 13. And my cousin was there. Not the one that showed me to crochet, but a different cousin. She was closer to me in age, and she was typing up simple patterns for me to make. There was like a comb case made out of single crochets and real simple things like that. And I told her I didn't know how to read patterns. You know, all I knew how to do was a granny square. Well, then my aunt sat down and she showed me how to work back and forth across a chain. And then my cousin Patsy, she showed me what the abbreviations were for reading patterns. And so that's how reading patterns got started. Well, I didn't see a lot of Aunt Gertie and my cousin Patsy. They're both gone now. They're both deceased. But my cousin Kathy, she's the one, she's more like a sister to me. She lived in our house half of her teenage life. And we were she was always part of our lives, and she's more like a sister than a cousin. Anyway, she helped me, once she saw I was starting to read patterns, she would help me read them and get through some of the harder parts of reading patterns. And I remember this one pair of mittens, there was a pair of mittens and a purse set that matched, that was in a Woman's Day magazine or something like that. And I kept doing these mittens over and over and over again, and they kept coming out huge. I couldn't figure it out. And I would try different crochet hooks and different kinds of yarn, and it still wasn't working. And I said, Kathy, you gotta help me. I can't figure out why this mitten is coming out so big. And she gets a hold of it, and she looks at it, and she starts laughing. She goes, okay, usually half of a double is a single, but in crocheting, half of a double is a half double, and it's not a single. So basically, what I was doing, I was making half double crochets and not single crochets. And so it made the mittens come out bigger. So that's one of the things I remember. And I remember other things. She had designed a baby on a blanket that you put your hands inside of it, and you could move your fingers around and made the baby look alive. And she made all kinds of stuff, and she's still crocheting today. She's not on the internet right now, but her daughter is, and so once in a while she'll post a picture, or she'll tell me how she's doing and everything. So yeah, my cousin Kathy's the one that really, really had the most influence on my crocheting life. And I'm not sure which of my sister's kids it was, so I'm not sure exactly when I learned to crochet, but I think I was 11. So that would have probably been her son Jesse when he was born, is the one that got that blanket. Yeah, and so I could go on with this video and tell you how I got started in YouTube and what I'm doing today, but I think that's for another video in my YouTube story. So I just want to wish y'all happy crocheting, and I'm excuse me, and I'm looking forward to seeing your videos on your stories on how you learned to crochet and who taught you and the story behind it. So see you soon.